Good afternoon, and my name is Liam Donhart, and this is my video for my presentation on NRSG 371 on vaping in youth aged 12 to 18 years old. Within this video, I'll be discussing the role the nurse has in addressing vaping through raising awareness, conducting risk assessments, providing education to caregivers, and collaborating with multidisciplinary teams, all within the community. After that, I'll be recommending some actions or strategies that can be implemented by the nurse to reduce health effects of vaping, whilst considering the opportunities and challenges these interventions have on this community group. Nurses have a role in health promotion through raising awareness about topics of concern. So many nurses participate in research and academic writing to increase information on topics like vaping in adolescents aged 12 to 18 years old. By researching the impacts vaping has on adolescents and making this information accessible by publishing online and additionally sharing key findings to communities like high schools, this information can raise awareness of the impact vaping has on youth. By researching this topic and sharing findings, relevant information can be shared within newsletters or pamphlets inside communities or high schools to increase awareness and promote health literacy. The impact that raising awareness can have on the community is to help make individuals like parents, staff, and the teens more aware of how damaging vaping can be. The nurse's ability to increase accessibility of findings can also extend to other communities that these high school students may associate with, including sporting clubs or gyms, leadership groups, or other areas youth frequent, to educate more individuals and increase awareness on the topic. Nurses have a role in conducting risk assessments for vaping, requiring the nurse to understand influencing factors and the potential impact that vaping can have on youth so effective interventions can be implemented. Nursing risk assessments require them to understand why a habit is risky and how an individual is at risk at these behaviors. Currently, evidence suggests that adolescents are at a high risk of vaping due to having low self-control, media influence, and peer pressure. Analyzing these risk factors and influences of teens who vape is an important step in creating solutions to reduce the risk of participating in poor health actions. Understanding the risk factor is only one half of the risk assessment, as they also include assessing how much of a risk a certain behavior has on the individual, with vaping being known to lead to a variety of long-term health consequences. Due to significant risks that vaping has on health, especially in youth that are still developing, interventions related to limiting vaping are critical and will help to reduce the potential impact that it can have on their health, including the risk of addiction, toxicity, poisoning, and at later stages, lung cancer or EVALI. Nurses are constantly required to provide education as it helps fulfill a key component of their job, being to promote optimal health and reduce the likelihood of participating in behaviors that can negatively influence health. There are two types of information that a nurse can provide, being public and private information, with public information being intended to be accessed by many individuals, where private information is intended to help a specific one. By educating and increasing caregivers' understanding of vaping, such as improving their media literacy, it can empower caregivers to be more equipped on how to support children who are vaping, allowing them to initiate teaching moments and early interventions related to vaping where necessary. Commonly, a typical role of the nurse in providing education to a caregiver would be in the private information and occur in the ward setting throughout the client's stay or on discharge, when there would be a small informal meeting between the caregiver, adolescent, and nurse to answer any questions that the client has. The nurse would also provide targeted support and inform the individual of follow-up meetings related to their mission and what to do if they relapse, which is helpful, but it only helps one individual. The role of the nurse can be expanded by interacting directly with caregivers of the community and providing public information to increase awareness and hopefully prevent individuals from participating in this health behavior. Collaborating with a multidisciplinary team is when a nurse works in a group that specializes in another area and is an effective way to engage with present services in the community to achieve a positive result based on their combined strengths. Through collaborating with their shared expertise on the medical field, the nurse can help by sharing their knowledge with other services like school counselors or child support to improve their success, or by learning from teachers to better engage and educate children. One way for a nurse to enact health promotion within a school community is to collaborate with teaching staff to integrate nursing education into subjects at schools, helping to improve education and allow them to autonomously study and find out information as part of their education. This works by sharing knowledge of the nurse with the teaching staff to allow for students to be involved in their own research on the topic, so they're educating themselves whilst promoting greater knowledge on the topic for both staff and students to help change their attitudes towards vaping behaviors. Based on the insights previously mentioned related to the nurse's role in raising awareness, risk assessments, education, and collaboration, A nurse can extend their skills and have an impact on reducing vaping in youth by educating this group and others around them. This can be achieved by the nurse partnering and collaborating with schools with the intention to increase awareness and target risk factors students at school are susceptible to. Increasing awareness and collaborating with the school can be achieved through a few interventions, including creating physical educational material and distributing around schools and other areas youth frequent, introducing nursing knowledge within health education, and inviting their caregivers to seminars based on vaping prevention strategies. Creating educational pamphlets or vaping education infographics have been found to be successful in raising awareness on health topics like vaping, as having a physical resource available to easily distribute or display around the schools has been found to be successful in getting youth to look at and consider information over digital copies. It also does not narrow down the target audience down to a single demographic, so anyone who views the resource, from caregivers to adolescents, can benefit from the educational material being distributed around schools and communities teens associate with. Introducing nursing health knowledge and vaping prevention curriculum has been found to see success, as it found that students can be guided to research the impacts that vaping has for themselves, helping them to inform them on the hazards of vaping and help them reduce the likelihood of participating and negating the risk factor of social acceptance related to vaping. This strategy is an opportunity to use students' curiosity for learning as a source of health promotion within a school, and it can take control of their learning for themselves rather than be fed the information, ensuring that the students are engaged and in return for their hard-working results leads to better grades in their subjects. Appealing to caregivers by creating a seminar catered to educate and inform them on strategies to reduce vaping and support those currently who are vaping helps them make more than just the students aware of the information. Involving the caregivers within the education process allows all members of the community to be informed on the subject and equips them with tools to reduce vaping in youth. A unique challenge for aiding teens and youth is that they tend to feel misunderstood by their mentors, and if this happens, they're less likely to be motivated to listen or act. To address this, teaching staff and teaching caregivers about motivational interviewing strategies within the seminar can help them be heard and feel accepted when used, and use the motivations to promote positive behavior change. By teaching motivational interviewing strategies, it can help to engage and interact with adolescents in a way that they're more likely to be receptive of and create positive behavior change by preventing long-term harm associated with vaping.